Have you ever found yourself struggling with the physical challenges of gardening? Whether it's bending over to pull weeds, lifting heavy planters, or even just keeping up with your tools? If so, you're not alone. As we age, gardening can start to feel less like a joy and more like a chore. But what if I told you there's a way to make your gardening experience easier, more enjoyable, and even more rewarding? In this video, I'll share 16 game-changing gardening hacks designed specifically for seniors like us. These simple, practical tips will help you save time and energy, reduce strain on your body, and keep your garden thriving without all the heavy lifting. From clever ways to move heavy planters to creative solutions for dealing with weeds, I'll show you how to work smarter, not harder. You'll learn how to make gardening accessible again, regardless of your physical limitations. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting, these tips will enhance your gardening experience and make every moment spent in your garden a joy. Stick with me until the end, and I'll share a bonus tip that will leave you feeling inspired and excited to get back out there. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's make gardening easier, more fun, and more rewarding, one tip at a time. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our community of senior gardeners who are keeping their green thumb strong, no matter what. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Tip 1. A mailbox in the garden, a convenient helping hand. Imagine this. You're out in your garden, fully immersed in the peaceful act of tending to your plants, whether it's trimming back overgrown vines, deadheading a blooming rose, or pulling a few pesky weeds. The air is fresh, the birds are singing, and you're finally in your element. But then, suddenly, it hits you. You need your pruners. The thought of walking to the shed feels like a monumental task, right? Every step seems to drain a little more of your energy, and the joy of gardening starts to fade. Here's a solution that has been a complete game changer for me. Place a weatherproof mailbox right in your garden. I know it sounds simple, but trust me, it's a total lifesaver. Find a sturdy post or a nearby tree to mount it, and position it somewhere close to your favorite gardening spot. Inside, stash all the tools you frequently use: gloves, scissors, a small trowel, maybe even a few seed packets for when inspiration strikes. The best part? You'll never have to make that long trek back to the shed again. It's like having a mini gardening station right where you need it most, a little oasis of convenience nestled in the heart of your garden. As we get older, every ounce of energy we save matters. This simple trick keeps you from unnecessarily straining your body while you're out there doing what you love. Gardening should be a source of joy and relaxation, not something that leaves you feeling drained and achy. With this clever hack, you'll be able to focus more on the beauty around you and less on the inconvenience of running back and forth. And let's not forget, a mailbox in the garden isn't just practical. It adds an extra layer of charm to your space, blending functionality with a unique touch. It's the kind of detail that makes your garden feel truly yours. Trust me, once you try it, you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. Let me know if this flows well, and I'll move on to the next tip. Tip 2. Make heavy planters a breeze. Repurpose old nursery pots. I want you to think about this for a moment. How many times have you tried to move a large, heavy planter and found yourself struggling just to shift it an inch? I know I've been there, and it's so frustrating. Those big, beautiful planters certainly add charm to our gardens, but let's face it, they can be a real pain to move as we get older. The last thing anyone wants is to hurt their back or strain their arms over a planter, especially when the joy of gardening should be about relaxing and connecting with nature. Here's a little life hack that has made a world of difference for me over the years, and I think it could do the same for you. If you're anything like me, you probably have a bunch of those old plastic nursery pots stuffed away in your shed or garage. Instead of letting them gather dust, why not give them a new purpose? Before you add any soil to your planter, take a few of those nursery pots, turn them upside down, and place them at the bottom of the planter. Then, fill up the remaining space with your potting soil. I can't tell you how much of a game changer this simple step is. Not only does it make the planter much lighter and easier to move, but it's also a wonderful little money saver. You see, using these old pots reduces the amount of potting soil you need, so you can stretch your gardening budget further. And there's more. That extra space at the bottom helps with drainage, which is a huge bonus for your plants. Healthy roots need proper drainage, and this trick ensures that your plants stay lush and vibrant without the worry of waterlogging. As we age, we may not have the same strength we once did, but that doesn't mean we have to give up the things we love, gardening included. This is a perfect solution for seniors who want to keep tending to their gardens without the strain and frustration of moving heavy pots. Plus, it's an eco-friendly option that gives those old nursery pots a second life instead of sending them to the landfill. Gardening doesn't have to be a battle of strength. It's about working smarter, not harder. So, give this tip a try and let me know how it works for you. I'm always excited to hear how others make gardening easier and more enjoyable. Once you've tried it, we'll move on to the next tip. Tip 3. Refresh, don't replace. Save time and energy with potting soil. Here's a little gem I've come to treasure, something I wish I had known earlier in my gardening journey. You don't have to throw away all your potting soil every time you replant. It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? But it's the truth. Instead of feeling the need to toss everything out, simply remove the top third of the old soil, fluff up the rest that's still in the pot, and then top it off with a fresh layer of potting soil. To give it that extra nutrient boost, mix in some slow-release fertilizer, and you're all set. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. This little trick has been a complete game changer for me, and I honestly wish someone had shared it with me sooner. As we age, those big, bulky bags of potting soil can become a real challenge to handle, and let's not even get started on the cost of constantly buying new bags. It can add up, both in terms of money and effort. But by simply refreshing your existing soil rather than replacing it entirely, you're making a small but mighty shift that saves you not only money but energy, too. It's a win-win. In my experience, this simple adjustment has made gardening feel so much more enjoyable again. Gardening, at its core, should be a peaceful, relaxing activity. Something we do to connect with nature, not something that leaves us exhausted and frustrated. This little tip takes some of the strain off, allowing us to keep our beloved plants happy and thriving while keeping things manageable for ourselves. For those of us who are getting older, every bit of convenience and ease counts. Trust me, I know firsthand how important it is to make life a little easier where we can. When you refresh your soil, you're not just giving your plants a boost, you're giving yourself one, too. Gardening should feel like a joy, not a chore, and this small trick ensures it stays that way. Let me know if this resonates with you, and I'll be happy to share more tips to keep the gardening experience simple and fulfilling. Tip 4. Divide and conquer. Double your garden with one plant. I'm about to share with you a little gardening secret that saved me both time and money over the years. A trick that not only enhances your garden but can also make you feel more connected to the earth. The secret: always keep an eye out for those large perennials at the nursery. Plants like hostas, daylilies, and so many others grow in clumps that practically beg to be divided. And trust me, once you bring one home, you'll often find that you can split it into 2, 3, or even more plants right away. It's like a buy one get two deal that nature is handing you. Now, I have to admit that dividing plants has become one of my absolute favorite things to do as I've gotten older. It's a simple yet deeply satisfying task. It's not rushed, there's no heavy lifting, and there's a real joy in gently parting the roots. All you need is a garden bench, a small spade, and a little patience. Honestly, I find the process therapeutic. It's almost like meditation. The sensation of carefully teasing apart those roots, slowly but surely, makes me feel grounded, connected, and at peace. It's like giving the plants a new start, and watching them thrive in their new spots is an immensely rewarding experience. But beyond the joy it brings me personally, this simple gardening hack is such a gift for anyone, especially for us seniors. It's an easy way to stretch your gardening budget without any stress, and you don't even have to break your back doing it. With just a little creativity, your garden can grow and bloom in ways you never thought possible, and all without spending a fortune or exhausting yourself. It's a reminder that sometimes the most beautiful things in life don't come from grand gestures, but from the little things we do to nurture and care for the world around us. What do you think? Ready for the next tip? I know I am. Tip 5. Coffee filters, the hidden helper for clean planters. I have a little trick that has been a game changer for me over the years, and I'm excited to share it with you. Lining the bottom of your pots with coffee filters. At first, you might wonder, why on earth would coffee filters be helpful in the garden? Trust me, once you try it, you'll see just how much of a difference it makes. It's one of those simple yet brilliant solutions that we often overlook in our busy lives. Here's why I love this tip. Coffee filters keep your soil neatly contained in your planter while still allowing water to drain freely. This is especially helpful for those of us who have patios, balconies, or garden beds close to walkways. I know that feeling of frustration when you accidentally spill soil or track mud inside, and suddenly you're left scrubbing away dirt for hours. With coffee filters, those messy trails are a thing of the past. You won't have to worry about dirt spilling out of the bottom of your pots and ruining your outdoor spaces anymore. But that's not all. Coffee filters are biodegradable, which makes them an eco-friendly option. I'm all for finding ways to make our lives easier while also protecting the environment, and this simple hack ticks both boxes. Plus, for us seniors who enjoy tending to our plants but want to avoid extra work, it's a real blessing. It eliminates the need for constant bending over or worrying about cleaning up soil messes. You can focus on the beauty of your plants and let the coffee filter do its job, making your gardening experience so much more enjoyable. In the end, it's amazing how something as simple as a coffee filter can save us time and effort. It's one of those little secrets that make gardening feel a bit more effortless, and I can't recommend it enough. You'll be amazed at how much cleaner and tidier your garden will look with just this one small step. Trust me, it's worth trying. After all, we all deserve a garden space that's both beautiful and low maintenance. Let me know what you think of this tip, and if you're ready, I'll dive into the next one. Tip 6. Scrap wood. Elevate your planters with DIY plant feet. Let me share a little gem of a tip that has truly been a lifesaver for me, and I bet it will be for you, too. Using scrap wood or old paint stirrers to create DIY plant feet is something that saved me hours of frustration, not to mention saving my back and knees from a lot of strain. All you need to do is elevate your planters just a couple of inches off the ground. It may seem like a small thing, but trust me, it makes a huge difference. By lifting your pots, you allow water to drain properly and prevent it from pooling at the bottom, which is so important for the health of your plants. Waterlogged soil can easily lead to root rot and a whole slew of other problems. But with this simple hack, your plants stay dry, healthy, and happy. And let me tell you, this is especially valuable for us seniors who may find it a bit harder to clean underneath heavy pots or deal with pesky pests. I used to dread crouching down, struggling with the weight of a pot, or trying to fight off those sneaky pill bugs who think they can take over my garden. Now, those little pests stay away, and I can breathe a sigh of relief knowing I don't have to bend over constantly to clean up. The beauty of this hack is how easy and affordable it is. No need to go out and buy fancy tools or materials. Just look around your garage, and I bet you'll find leftover wood from a past project or maybe even a few old paint stirrers from your last home improvement job. If you don't have any scrap wood lying around, ask a neighbor. They might just have some extra paint stirrers they're happy to give away. With your pots lifted off the ground, you'll notice a cleaner, healthier garden. The few inches of elevation not only give your plants better drainage, but also make your outdoor space so much easier to maintain. It's a small adjustment that packs a big punch, making gardening feel less like a chore and more like an enjoyable hobby. When you're getting older, working smarter instead of harder matters, and this is a perfect example of that. So, if you're tired of cleaning under heavy pots or dealing with those annoying pests, try this out. Trust me, it's worth it. Let me know how it goes, and if you're ready for the next tip, I'm all ears. Tip 7. Newspaper and cardboard. The secret weapon against weeds. Let's talk about weeds for a moment. Those relentless, frustrating invaders that seem to show up no matter how much we try to outsmart them. It feels like no matter how hard we work or how carefully we tend to our gardens, these little troublemakers always find a way to creep in. If you're anything like me, you might feel frustrated at the thought of constantly battling them. But here's a game-changing trick that has completely transformed my gardening experience, and I honestly can't recommend it enough. Using newspaper or cardboard as your secret weapon against weeds. I can tell you from personal experience that this method is truly a lifesaver. Just lay down a few layers of newspaper or sheets of cardboard under your mulch, and you'll create a natural, highly effective barrier that prevents weeds from sprouting. It's an absolute revelation, especially for those of us who aren't as spry as we used to be. There's no more endless bending over or getting on our hands and knees to yank out weeds. It's as though the garden is doing the work for you, and it feels like a true blessing. And if you're starting a new planting bed or trying to reclaim a patch of land, I've discovered that large pieces of cardboard, like the ones from pallets, are a total game changer. Gone are the days of back-breaking digging and struggling with sod removal. Instead, you can simply lay down the cardboard, and trust me, you'll be amazed at how effortlessly this works. Cover it with compost and mulch, and let nature work its magic. Over time, the cardboard breaks down, nourishing the soil and creating the perfect, healthy environment for your plants to thrive. What makes this technique so brilliant is that it's incredibly simple, affordable, and doesn't require endless hours of labor. You won't believe how much energy you'll save for the parts of gardening that bring you joy: the planting, the nurturing, and the harvesting. It gives you back the time and energy to truly enjoy your garden rather than feel exhausted from constant maintenance. In the end, it's all about working smarter, not harder, and this tip does exactly that. Trust me, this is one of those little gardening secrets that, once you try, you'll never look back. I hope you find this as helpful as I did. Let me know how it works for you, and when you're ready, we can move on to the next tip. Tip 8. Winter sowing, mini greenhouses with plastic bottles. Let me share with you a simple yet incredibly effective gardening trick that feels almost like magic, and the best part: it's so easy and hands-off. Imagine turning those empty plastic bottles you've been tossing out into little greenhouses that are perfect for sowing seeds during the colder months. This technique, known as winter sowing, is an absolute gem for us older adults who may not want to fuss with complicated indoor grow lights, heating mats, or the endless battle for space on already crowded windowsills. Trust me, I understand. As we get older, it's all about finding ways to make life a little easier, and this method delivers on that promise. Here's how it works. Take one of those plastic bottles you've been collecting, yes, the ones you were just about to throw out, and carefully cut it in half. Fill the bottom half with rich, nutritious soil, then add your seeds. Once that's done, simply place the top half of the bottle back on, making sure to leave the cap off for ventilation, and then place it outside in the sun. And that's it. It feels almost too good to be true, but nature will take care of the rest. When the conditions are just right, your seeds will begin to germinate, and you won't have to lift a finger. I can't tell you how satisfying it is to see nature work its wonders with no extra effort required. What I love most about this technique is that it's not only low maintenance, but it also saves valuable space and creates incredibly strong, healthy seedlings that are already hardened off by the elements before they even hit the garden. This method allows you to get a jump start on your planting season without the usual fuss. For me, It's a perfect way to stay connected with the joy of gardening while keeping things stress-free. And let's be real, anything that saves us time and keeps the process fun is a total win. So, if you've got some spare plastic bottles, why not give it a try? I think you'll love the results. And I'm all in for any tip that makes gardening a little easier as we grow older. Let me know how it goes, and if this resonates with you, I'll be more than happy to share the next great tip. Tip 9. Frost protection, everyday items to the rescue. We've all been there, haven't we? The season's finally changing, the warmth of spring is in the air, and we're excitedly planting our seedlings, envisioning a bountiful garden. But then, without warning, an unexpected frost swoops in, threatening to ruin all our hard work. For us seniors, the idea of rushing out in a panic to protect those delicate plants can feel like an overwhelming task, especially when we're dealing with aches, pains, and the energy drain that sometimes comes with getting older. But here's a simple, effective solution that can make all the difference. And best of all, it relies on items you already have lying around the house. Picture this. You're in a hurry, the cold is creeping in, and you don't want to let your seedlings freeze. What do? You grab an empty plastic bottle, cut off the bottom, and gently place it over the plant. It's like a cozy little greenhouse that shields your seedlings from the harsh chill. Or if you have an old nursery pot lying around, simply flip it upside down and place it over the plant like a protective dome. To keep it steady, just set a small rock on top or press the edges gently into the soil. No complicated tools or expensive products are required. These DIY covers act as tiny frost shields, offering your plants just the right amount of protection when the weather seems to change its mind and hit us with a surprise cold snap. What I love most about this trick is how easy and accessible it is. It's not just cost-effective, it's also a solution that anyone can do, no matter how physically demanding the task may feel. Plus, it gives us peace of mind. We're not left helpless when the unpredictable weather throws us a curveball. And once the frost passes and the warmth of the sun comes back to revive our gardens, all you have to do is remove the covers and store them for next time. No hassle, no extra expense. Just a simple, reliable solution to keep your garden thriving through all the seasons. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In a world where everything seems so fast-paced and complicated, this easy trick feels like a little gift, doesn't it? It's a reminder that sometimes, the simplest solutions are the most effective. So let's continue making the most of what we have, because with a little creativity, we can protect what we've planted and keep moving forward with joy. Does that sound good? Shall we move on to the next tip? Tip 10. Creative plant markers. Simple solutions from everyday items. Isn't it frustrating when you've spent hours planting your garden, only to realize a week later that you've forgotten what you planted where? It happens to all of us, especially as we get older, and let's be honest, there's nothing more disheartening than looking at your garden and wondering if that sprout is a tomato or a cucumber. Plant markers are essential, but let's face it, those pre-made ones can add up over time, and for many of us, every penny counts. That's why I love coming up with creative, inexpensive solutions that make my gardening experience both efficient and satisfying. Here's a wonderful way to solve this problem without breaking the bank. Repurpose everyday items you already have lying around your home. I've found that things like plastic knives, the ones left over from picnics or takeout, work wonders when turned into plant markers. And if you have old mini blinds collecting dust in a drawer, don't toss them out just yet. Those slats can be transformed into perfect little tags for your plants. Even something as simple as cutting up yogurt containers into strips can become a clever and functional marker. All you need to do is grab a UV-resistant marker and write down the name of the plant. These markers will stand up to the elements, rain, sun, and time, all while being kind to your wallet. But let's not forget about adding a little charm and rustic beauty to your garden. If you prefer a more natural look, you can always use small, smooth stones. Just gather a few, give them a quick rinse, and then paint the plant names right on them. They bring such a lovely touch of earthy elegance to any flower bed or herb garden. Plus, they're a great conversation starter when friends come over and admire your handiwork. For us seniors, these DIY plant markers don't just save money. They help reduce waste, too. It feels so rewarding to take something old and give it a new purpose. You're not just marking plants. You're adding a personal, meaningful touch to your garden that reflects your creativity and resourcefulness. It's a beautiful reminder that the simplest, most thoughtful solutions often bring the greatest satisfaction. And the best part? If one marker breaks or fades, it's no big deal. Just grab another old item and keep on going. It's easy, it's fun, and it gives me such a sense of accomplishment. So, next time you're looking to organize your garden, take a look around your home. The perfect marker might be sitting right there, waiting for a second chance at life. Tip 11. Affordable plant covers. Dollar store hacks for your garden. As a gardener, there's nothing quite as disheartening as seeing your hard work being chewed away by those relentless critters. The sight of rabbits, squirrels, or even the occasional deer nibbling on your beautiful seedlings can be enough to make you want to give up. But don't throw in the towel just yet. There's a simple, budget-friendly fix that can make all the difference, and it's easier than you might think. Next time you're out running errands, stop by your local dollar store. Yes, you read that right. The dollar store is a goldmine for garden hacks. One of my favorite discoveries there has been tall mesh waste baskets. These humble baskets are a game changer, and let me tell you, they're a godsend for anyone trying to protect their garden from hungry visitors. They're lightweight, incredibly easy to use, and most importantly, they serve as an effective barrier between your plants and the critters that seem to appear out of nowhere. Now, I love the black baskets because they blend so seamlessly into the garden. They aren't an eyesore, and instead of standing out like a sore thumb, they quietly get the job done without stealing the show. You just place one over your plant, gently press it into the soil to hold it in place, and voila, your plant is protected. It's that simple. For those of us with taller plants, no worries. You can stack two baskets on top of each other to create more space for growth, or if you're feeling crafty, just cut out the bottom of one to give your plants a bit more breathing room. It's such a flexible, practical solution that doesn't require much effort at all. And let's not forget, this hack is especially fantastic for us seniors. I know how hard it can be to find ways to protect our gardens without breaking our backs or spending a fortune. This dollar store hack is a true lifesaver because it allows us to safeguard our hard work without any heavy lifting or complicated setup. It's clever and cost-effective, and I can't help but feel a little proud of myself for thinking of it. Honestly, when I stumbled upon this hack, I couldn't help but feel like I had just unlocked a little gardening secret. It's practical, simple, and, let's face it, totally genius. Don't you agree? Ready to try it out and move on to the next tip? Tip 12. Design garden beds with ease. Let a hose be your guide. One of the things that truly brings me joy in gardening is the process of creating new flower beds or reshaping the ones I already have. There's something so special about bringing a fresh, living design into existence, yet let's be honest, there's often a lot of heavy lifting and clunky tools that can make the process feel more like a chore than a pleasure. And honestly, who needs the hassle when you can make it so much simpler and more fun? Here's a little secret I've discovered. Instead of dragging around all those bulky tools or using rigid, immovable markers, why not let your garden hose do the work for you? Imagine this. You simply lay your hose on the ground where you envision the edge of your flower bed to be. What I love about this method is how flexible the hose is. It moves with you, allowing you to experiment with all kinds of beautiful shapes and gentle curves until you create a design that truly speaks to you. It's almost like your garden is telling you what it wants, and the hose just becomes the tool that brings it to life. The best part is, once you've found that perfect layout, the hose becomes your guide, whether you're digging, planting, or adding mulch. For those of us in our golden years, this method is such a blessing. It keeps everything light, manageable, and, most importantly, enjoyable. There's no need to rush, no heavy lifting. just the peaceful, stress-free joy of shaping your garden exactly how you've imagined it. With the flexibility of a simple hose, the possibilities are endless, and the experience feels like a little adventure, one curve at a time. It's amazing how something so simple can spark so much creativity, and I truly believe it's one of those gardening tricks that makes the whole process so much more enjoyable. Let me know how it goes for you. If this idea resonates with you, we'll dive into the next tip. Tip 13. Roll heavy rocks with ease. PVC pipes to the rescue. We've all been there, right? You're out in the garden, and you spot the perfect rock to add that extra charm to your space. But then, reality hits. It's just too heavy to move. It's frustrating, honestly, and I used to feel a bit defeated when I faced that situation. But let me tell you, there's a brilliant, back-friendly solution that will completely change how you handle heavy rocks. It's so simple it feels almost like a magic trick. All you need are a few small PVC pipes. Yes, PVC pipes. Here's how it works. Place the rock gently on top of the pipes and just start rolling it forward. As the rock moves along, simply shift the pipes from the back to the front and let the rock keep on rolling with ease. You'll be amazed at how effortlessly the rock glides across the ground, and all the while, you're saving your back and keeping things safe. As someone who's getting a little older, I can't stress enough how important it is to find ways to move without straining yourself. This little hack is like a breath of fresh air for us seniors. It takes the heavy lifting out of the equation and gives us the freedom to make our gardens look just the way we've always dreamed. No more feeling like we're about to throw out our backs just for the sake of beauty. With a bit of ingenuity and a few PVC pipes, there's nothing that can stop you from creating the garden oasis you deserve. Honestly, I hope this trick gives you the confidence to take on those big garden projects without hesitation. Trust me, it'll change the way you look at every rock in your yard. Let me know if this works for you, and we'll dive into the next tip. Tip 14. Make gardening social. Share the joy. Gardening is so much more than just planting seeds and watching them grow. It's an incredibly fulfilling way to reconnect with nature, yes, but it also offers us a beautiful opportunity to build meaningful connections with others. As we age, it can sometimes feel like we're missing those bonds, but gardening has the potential to fill that void. If you've ever found yourself tending to your garden in solitude, there's a way to change that. Make it social. Invite your neighbors over for a seed exchange, ask friends to join you for a weekend afternoon of planting, or get involved with a local gardening club. You'll be amazed at how many wonderful, like-minded people you can meet. People who share the same passion and can offer advice, stories, and even friendship. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. For us seniors, especially, these connections become so much more than just casual interactions. They have the power to bring light to our days, to inspire a sense of community, and to remind us that we're not alone in this beautiful journey of life. We can share laughter, tips, and experiences, and that kind of shared joy is something truly priceless. After all, gardening isn't just about tending to the earth. It's about nurturing relationships that help us feel connected and valued. Sometimes, the most meaningful part of gardening isn't what's sprouting from the soil. It's the relationships that bloom from the effort we put into it. So, why not take that step to turn your garden into a space that's alive with connection and joy? Ready for the final tips? I can't wait to share them with you. Let me know. Tip 15. Raised garden beds. Bring gardening to your level. Let's be honest for a moment. As we get older, bending down and kneeling for long stretches simply isn't what it used to be. It can become a painful reminder of the toll that time takes on our bodies. That's exactly why raised garden beds are nothing short of a revelation for seniors like us. These amazing gardening tools elevate the soil, bringing the plants closer to your hands and eyes and reducing the stress and strain on your back, knees, and joints. Suddenly, gardening becomes something you can do with ease, comfort, and joy without having to worry about the physical limitations that might otherwise hold you back. What's even better is the variety of options available. You can buy pre-made raised beds that sit comfortably at waist level, making it easy to work without stooping. Or, if you're feeling creative, you can build your own using simple materials like wooden planks, bricks, or metal panels. The possibilities are endless. For those of us who rely on wheelchairs or walkers, there's no need to worry. Many raised beds are designed with open spaces underneath, allowing for easy access no matter your mobility. Raised garden beds are not just practical. They are also incredibly ergonomic and designed to make gardening accessible for everyone. They offer superior soil drainage and help you maintain better control over the conditions your plants need to flourish. It's less fuss and less frustration, allowing you to enjoy the process more. Add a small stool or a comfy bench nearby to take breaks whenever needed, and what once felt like a laborious chore now becomes a moment of pure joy, a peaceful connection to nature that recharges your spirit. Gardening can be a deeply fulfilling and therapeutic experience, and raised garden beds make it accessible for all of us, regardless of our age or physical ability. So, if you're ready to embrace a more comfortable way to garden, this is your invitation to experience a new chapter in your gardening journey, one where comfort and joy go hand in hand. Ready for our final tip? Let me know. Tip 16. Celebrate progress, not perfection. I want to leave you with a heartfelt reminder that gardening is so much more than just an activity. It's a beautiful, unfolding journey. It's easy to fall into the trap of wanting everything to be perfect, especially when we're older and feel like time is slipping away. But please know this, every little step forward is worth celebrating. Whether you're carefully planting seeds or trimming a shrub, you're making progress, and that progress is meaningful. As we age, it becomes more important to honor our pace. Take breaks when you need to, and give yourself permission to set down your tools and simply breathe in the fresh air. Don't rush, and don't pressure yourself to do it all in one day. Whether it's a flower blossoming in the morning sun, the satisfaction of seeing your tomato plants flourish, or the joy of a weed-free garden bed, these are victories in themselves, no matter how small they may seem. We often get lost in the idea of perfection, but gardening isn't about having the best garden. It's about the joy, peace, and sense of accomplishment that each moment brings. The simple act of nurturing life is a gift, and you deserve to feel proud of every accomplishment, no matter how minor it may feel. So, be kind to yourself, take in the beauty around you, and savor the process. After all, it's not about finishing everything. It's about creating something truly beautiful, one gentle step at a time. As we wrap up today's video, I want you to take a moment and reflect on everything we've discussed so far. What's one thing that stood out to you? Is it the importance of taking small, meaningful steps forward? Or maybe the idea of celebrating progress over perfection? Whatever it is, I encourage you to think about how you can apply it in your life. I'd love to hear from you. Please share one thing you've learned today and plan to bring into practice in the comments below this video. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support means the world, and it helps us continue to create content that makes a difference in your life. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.